Welcome to Katie Custom Woodworking. I'm Kevin Dunphy. We're here today. We're going to show a little, plastic woodwork on our awning up here. All right, so let's go take a look what I'm trying to do, and I'm kind of inventing it as we're going along. So I have this right here. I got a really good price. I needed 40 pieces to go from one end to the other end, and I bought the last 8. I got this like less than half price. Stuff's expensive, and I think it's gonna look great. I wanted to use cedar up there, but the city here doesn't want anything flammable. Okay, so I figured, well, I'll make it maintenance free, like up there. That's all maintenance free. So unless they want to paint it, but so what I'm gonna do is kind of show you. Apologize for the camera work. I'm kind of on my own today. I'm gonna put that like that. Add a little spacer. And why am I doing that? It's because I'm not too sure about this stuff. If I jam it up, I don't really want to leave a gap there for insects to crawl in up here. I want that closed. I'm not really worried about so much for ventilation because there's no hot and cold up there. There's nothing really escapes. It's going to be the same temperature. There is ventilation there along the ridge. You know, if it did get a little humid in there, it would settle. But I'm convinced that's fine. You know, plus I'm going to put pot lights in it, and I could sneak 2 other pot lights, so they'll actually be vents just to, you know, let out a little humidity. All right, so with this plastic right here, if it expanded, this isn't going to stop. This is just going to bend a bit, and I do like that look. Now, I got to go right across here. I was a little, this is where sometimes you screw up. It's a minor mistake, but I should have waited to put the strapping until I had all this done. But anyways, that's another story. So I'm just gonna take that strapping out of my way, and let's do it. I'll try to film some of this as I put it. I'm gonna go in the first part on the ladder, the other part on the scaffolding. It's a long story why we don't have the other one with the platform. We're struggling, and we bought some, and we're sharing it. Well, we're borrowing it from somebody else, and we just bought a whole few loads here, but we have to buy more scaffolding. We really don't have enough. But all right, so let's see how I make out in a few hours. All right, let's recap what I did. Now, I used the foam board, Lepadge's 300, and the stuff, if you look here, this was done yesterday. You see, it's almost like gum, almost literally. I've used this stuff for 30 years. It's a long story how I found out about it. And the stuff is amazing. I've never seen it really fail. I've seen it in ice, heat, cold temperatures like minus 30, 40. And why I did that, because those screws, those specialized screws, I don't trust them. And I want it to be flexible because I don't know how much expansion this has. So let's see. We're up here, we have it installed. And if you can see the glue, I kind of, I'm not like blobbing the whole thing, but I got enough that it's catching. And this worked out amazing. If I can show you with my finger here. So there's enough flux there. If that expands, it's going to, it'll have movement. Plus down at the end, I left a little air. I'm not so worried about this because there's no hot and cold going in here. There's no heat. This is just going to totally stay outside. We're totally bolted right across. I don't like the hangers. Okay, I'm going to say it out loud. I think they're crap because everybody leaves them loose, and this I like. I like bolting all my things, so that's my little pet peeve. Once I got going, it went really fast. I cut about at least 8 at a time. Went, got them all ready. The reason why I didn't really do more, because I'm a little off, and I had to adjust, so I just do 8, and it was good. I just keep cutting that length. It worked out really well. I use composite screws for they're like for PVC exterior type plastic wood, as I like to call it. But they really, I like them because they have little threads at the end. They really grip. I tried wood. You could try regular like deck screws, but the only thing is they tear out the composite material. It's like particle board. It doesn't really take the screws very well. Hence why I really like gluing it up also. Keeping it, make sure this thing, I don't want this thing to rattle at all because if you get a lot of wind in our area, then you get that vibration and that would start shaking. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't use, just vented fascia board. The fascia using deck board is, I think it's really a great idea. I like the look upside down. It's never ever going to fade. It should stay like that for years and years. No maintenance. I didn't pick wood back there because they were kind of on this on well on. We're not allowed in the city of St. John, so everything has to be fire rated. It doesn't have to be fireproof, which I'm starting to realize after seeing fire next door. It's not such a bad idea, So I was going to put cedar there, but totally, I totally backed off. And what I did with this composite board, they were liquidating it. I guess the last of the color. It was less than half price, so it wasn't that expensive. It was maybe $200 worth of material to do one end to the other. And what I will do, and I didn't do it before. I didn't. You could put the wire in before. Some people like like having it. I've done it lots of times. Put the wire in before. This case, I didn't do it. I'll be quite honest with you. Sometimes you forget where you are, and then you're thinking, okay, I can put my wire here, and I'll put it after. It won't be a big deal once I drill out the holes for the pot lights. You can fish it through easily. I'm thinking of using 6-inch pot lights as opposed to 4-inch. I'll have a wider beam. It'll make it a lot brighter back there because I want to put it also on the top face and also on the attic. So I have everything lit up across that whole house. It'll be a real deterrent, I hope, for anybody, thinking that they can go shopping inside that house when nobody's home. So you got to think about a lot of million and one things. The worst thing is if you can't, you get yourself boxed in and you got too much wood there and you can't fish the wires. But in this case, I'm not even worried about it. So at the end, it was always a little harder to do, because we followed the property line, which was actually the whole property is a little V'd, and I didn't want to waste 1 square inch whatsoever. Now, this is at the end of the roof. They're up there. I put a little molding there at the top. They're just screwing that in. And you can see, everybody's, I think, is happy with the look that we have. And I think it looks nice and clean. There's a side, so I'm only doing that side. We're not touching that side because the other house has to be fixed up, so we left that alone. And there's Kurt giving up his weekends and working on his house. Way to go. Now, at the at the end, this is always the hardest part to do. You can use the plugs to cover the holes because I got, use 16 gauge. And what I used was I just used caulking. The big thing, what I found out with a lot of caulking, if you're not going to put paint over it, if you leave it exposed, use the more expensive caulking. I like the water base because it's easier to work with. I can take damp rag, especially for this kind of work. You don't want to get involved in the oil. It's hard to put there. You're going to have a ridge. When you have the ridge and it gets dirty, you see it a mile away. But this caulking worked really good. It kept it out. And how do I know? If you look at the molding above, I I put a bead there of the cheaper caulking, and I think it was 2 days later, rain came, almost washed it all out. I went up there and used this caulking, and I had no problems whatsoever. So it does pay. It is about $10 a tube, cheap, more expensive. So, but I think it's worth. I don't have to redo. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I know I keep asking. It sounds like a song, and it really helps us out. We've really grown a lot with the channel, and I can't thank you all so much for supporting it. And we're getting good vibes. So thank you very much. Bye.